up, everyone? Welcome back to Today on Display, and welcome to Display Trivia, Part 1. This is where we find out exactly how much we are playing for tonight. And if you haven't joined us before, you're in for some fun. So as you can see, I have a wheel here. It's got $1,000 slots, $2,500 slots, and $5,000 slots. Whatever we land on, that's your prize tonight. So without further ado, let's do the thing. Let's spin the wheel. $5,000, $5,000, $5,000, $5,000, $5,000, $5,000, $5,000, $5,000, $5,000, $5,000. We're playing for $5,000! Woo! I don't know. That is a lucky dance, folks. So, if you want to stay for the trivia, and who doesn't after that kind of spin, all you got to do is stay right here. Later on, the questions are going to pop up on your screen. There's going to be 10 of them. You're going to have 10 seconds to tap each one. If you get them all right, you want a piece of that $5,000 prize. We'll be right back with more Today on Display. Welcome back to Today on Display. You know what time it is. Tea time. Yes, I think I've got some chamomile here. I don't know, I probably shouldn't have caffeine this late in the day, but maybe I can grab you a spot of Earl Grey? Oh, sorry, I'm just getting word that T is for trivia. Okay, not T-E-A-T. Yeah, oh, wow, maybe I do need that caffeine. Earlier, we spun to determine the jackpot, which honestly I should still have an adrenaline rush from because we spun for $5,000. And just in case you're just tuning in, I'm going to re-explain the rules because I'm a nice person. Okay, you're going to have 10 seconds to pick your answer and choose wisely because once you tap, there's no going back. If you miss one, you will no longer be eligible for the cash prize, but stay in the game because you can keep playing along and it's fun. All right. I'm letting a couple more stragglers come in because it is such a big pot tonight and we want everyone to have a fair chance, right? Maybe some of you felt inspired by my tea talk. Maybe you grabbed yourselves a cuppa. Not that sleepy time stuff, right? We've got a quiz to answer correctly. And speaking of which, you ready to do this? I sure am. It's time to trivia. Here we go. Question 1. A classic slinky is primarily made out of what material? Rubber, metal, wood. A classic slinky is primarily made out of what material? Rubber, metal, wood. The slinky is some lazy toy making right there because it's basically just a spring. It's almost like Santa was like, so the kids who weren't bad enough for coal, rip up my old mattress, give them that. I mean, I don't think that's exactly the slinky origin story, but it works for me. Does it work for you? Well, the inventor did use old springs from a factory. Whew, what a genius, right? Toy concept. And I can say that all of you, geniuses, you are putting pedal to the metal. That's your right answer. Here we go, on to question 2. This dark part of the human eye that takes in visual light is called what? Pupil, iris, cornea. This dark part of the human eye that takes in visual light is called what? Pupil, iris, cornea. This part just takes in the light. But you know where the sight stuff is actually done? In the brain. Yeah, kind of like a desktop computer. You play solitaire on the screen, but all the actual work is getting done in that big plastic box that sits on the floor and purrs like a cat. By the way, I mean, that's all anyone has used a desktop computer for in the last 15 years, right? I mean, they don't actually make them anymore, I don't think. But it looks like a lot of you are making like pupils, also a word for students, and thinking your way right into the right answer. Moving on to question 3. The founder of Goop was previously married to the lead singer of what band? Coldplay, Radiohead, Muse. The founder of Goop was previously married to the lead singer of what band? Coldplay, Radiohead, Muse. I thought the founder of Goop was God. Also the founder of Mud and Gook and Slime. I mean, the founder of everything, really. And then there is the founder of Jade Eggs for our hoo-has. I mean, because when you boil it down, actually, please don't boil these eggs. That's one of the Goop products. I'm sorry, I'm like 12. But she is Gwyneth Paltrow, formerly married to Chris Martin of Coldplay before they consciously uncoupled in 2016. They moved on. And so should we. Into question 4. Which of the following substances is not classified as a mineral? Quartz, platinum, amethyst. Which of the following substances is not classified as a mineral? Quartz, platinum, amethyst. Are you all a bunch of crystals on a millennial's nightstand? Because I can tell by the way you are playing tonight, you are charged. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I'm sure you can look up an article on Goop. God, she's good. She is good. Minerals usually take form as crystals, so technically salt is a crystal. Maybe not one that you would see in a necklace, but I carry mine with me at all times. Not for strength or peace or anything like that, mostly just to, season my food. This quiz is getting zesty, all right. Although it also comes from the earth, platinum is a type of metal and it's crystal clear. You all knew it. You're ready for question 5. All of the following are types of woodwind instruments except flute, trumpet, saxophone. All of the following are types of woodwind instruments except flute, trumpet, saxophone. Woodwinds are definitely the goody two-shoes of the orchestra. I only know because I was one. Both a goody two-shoes and I played a woodwind instrument. Brass, those are the bad boys. And percussion, they're all the kids who need more parental guidance. God, I love me some brass. Of course, we were all band geeks anyway, And you know what they say, what happens at band camp stays at band camp. I think we should adopt that motto for trivia. What happens at display trivia stays at display trivia. Except, of course, when there's something to brag about, like if you knew that a trumpet is not a woodwind, yeah? Toot your own horn. Let's head into question 6. Which of these words does not mean something that can be detected by a nose? Aura, aroma, odor. Which of these words does not mean something that can be detected by a nose? Aura, aroma, odor. Yeah, you didn't think you'd be going back to middle school for a vocab test today, but hey, here we are. Hey, meet me by the lockers after class so we can plan out outfits to the dance this Friday. Is anyone else so glad that that part of your life is over? Or, do you miss the acne and braces? Talk to you later, middle school. But back to the subject. Okay, the only thing on this list you are not able to smell with your nose is an aura. Even if you're psychic, I don't think that's the thing. Question 7. All of the following team sports are said to have evolved from rugby except Gaelic football, Canadian football, American football. All of the following team sports are said to have evolved from rugby except Gaelic football, Canadian football, American football. A lot of sports can trace their history back to rugby. It's actually the foxy grandpa of a lot of modern day sports. I say foxy because have you seen those rugby players? Look, I don't need to understand what's going on because I understand that those men are very svelte, if I do say so myself. I hope people say that about me. I never know the trivia answers, but gee, that host is svelte. Back to business. Gaelic football came from Cain, brother of Abel, and predecessor of rugby. And keep sprinting toward the goal line, display bees, because you're almost there. We're at Q8. Let's do this. The acronym RSVP comes from a phrase in what family of languages? Romance, Germanic, Slavic. The acronym RSVP comes from a phrase in what family of languages? Romance, Germanic, Slavic. I hope you all RSVP because it is the polite thing to do. It doesn't mean please make it. It means please respond. And there is nothing ruder than leaving someone on red. In fact, when I get left on red, all I see is red. The color, like the dress, which is an expression for being angry. And y'all don't want to see me angry. No. RSVP means please respond. Or more literally, respond if you would please. We borrow this little saying from the French because it makes our invitations feel fancier. Fancier, darling. And nothing says fancy like a romance language. I always RSVP yes to love. Question 9. What is the name of the trademarked frozen treat from the fast food establishment headquartered in Dublin, Ohio? Blizzard, Frosty, McFlurry. What is the name of the trademarked frozen treat from the fast food establishment headquartered in Dublin, Ohio? Blizzard, Frosty, McFlurry. Well, top of the morning to y'all in Dublin, Ohio. In case you haven't noticed, Americans aren't too good at coming up with our own stuff, right? We really just add the word new. New York, New Hampshire, New Mexico, or in some cases we just, take. Like Dublin, for instance. Or land. We take that too. We're also good at making the best food that is really bad for you. What do you think little Miss Wendy has to say about that? I'm not sure, but I know she makes a delicious Frosty. Now don't get brain freeze, because it is time for the final question. Question 10. The word for measuring wind speeds, especially at sea, comes from what nautical terminology? Battens, logline, gimbal. The word for measuring wind speeds, especially at sea, comes from what nautical terminology? Battens, logline, gimbal. My favorite wind speed classification? Gale. It's a type of strong wind, but it's also your mom's bestie who she goes to Wine Wednesdays with. And Gail, I mean, she knows everything about you. That dent in your car? Gail knows. Bad breakup? Yep. Gail's heard that too. Gail even knows about that mole on your butt. In fact, Gail knows it's benign before you do. But does Gail know that wind speeds are measured in knots? That seamen, that this unit comes from the knots that seamen would tie in the log lines to determine the lengths of their boats and therefore how fast they were going? Huh? Take that one, Gail. All right, clearly I've got some work to do with my therapist on Gail, but so many of you, I mean, you're done working. You won. Shout yourselves out in the chat, my winners. Who got that 10 out of 10 tonight? Yes, and if you didn't, not to worry, we've got plenty more trivia coming tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. So many winners in the chat right now. I love to see it. Hit the showers, display bees. I'll catch you on the flip side. Set your alarms now. Don't forget to text your friends. Bring them to trivia. It's such a party. Have a great night. I'll see you then. Ciao.